You're watching a video from CycleCruza's all-in-one sport bike channel. Subscribe today.
In my opinion, I think sport bikes, especially super sport bikes, in my opinion, I believe they are the safer motorcycles for street riding. Now, a lot of you guys will probably say different, because you'll probably say these are, you know, speed machines and all of that. But you know what? That's your problem. That's not the bike's problem. You know, that's you have to learn how to restrain yourself on these super sports. But in my opinion, I believe they are the safer type of motorcycle out there for the streets. Why? First off, you're not in a real super comfortable position. Although on this 2008 Honda CBR 600RR is actually really pretty comfortable for a super sport compared to all the other ones, because it does have the raised clip-ons, as I've mentioned in many of my other videos. But anyways, you're in a more aggressive riding position than, say, a cruiser. Obviously, a cruiser, you're in a completely upright position, a very comfortable position. But you know what? You don't want to be comfortable out here on the streets, man. You always want to be alert. You want to ride semi-paranoid, because anything can happen at any time, man. You never know. Right now, I could be riding out here and think everything's cool and safe, and a little fucking jackrabbit or something runs right in front of my wheel or something and causes me to wipe out. You always got to be, you know, on alert. Because, and these super sports put you on alert, because it puts you in that aggressive position where you're going to be, you know, you're not in a position where you're fucking so comfortable you'll fall asleep. But, you know, one thing, in my opinion, that's why I don't really like cruisers that much. You know, even when I was on the scooter, which is a completely upright position, you get too comfortable. You know, that's how I low-sided on that scooter going around that turn in the rain over leaves. It's just, I got too comfortable, man. I wasn't thinking about nothing. I'm fucking just in La La Land, fucking just chilling and not thinking about anything. But you know what? When I'm on this super sport, I'm in that aggressive position. And you know, and my mind is always thinking, I'm looking, I'm riding semi-paranoid. But like I said, when I was on the scooter, I didn't feel that way, man. I was just sitting back like I was in a fucking easy chair, watching TV and shit. And that's what you don't want that on the streets, man. Not only that, super sports are very light. Damn, my little neck got in my mouth. Shit! That's a hazard too out here on the streets. Fucking gnats, man. But anyways, yeah, these super sports are really light. And the cruisers, the handling is a lot more bulkier. I mean, you can't just throw around a cruiser like you can a super sport. Super sport, look at it. Like, especially with these new Q-Max, these new Sport Max Q3s I have. You could just flick this sucker around like nothing, man. So if somebody's coming at me, bam! I'm over here. I can get out of harm's way quickly, accelerate. Yeah! See, I can't do that shit on a cruiser, man. Cruisers are fucking like scooters to me, man. They're slow as shit. And they're heavy as fuck. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not hating on cruisers, because I think they look awesome. You know, my dad, he rode Harleys. And he was a Harley dude, straight up. And I had friends that ride Harleys. And yo, I'm not hating on them. I'm just telling the truth. You know, like my grandmother says, I tell it like it is. And I'm being straight up with you guys. But these bikes, it's just, like I said, it keeps you on alert. They have light handling. Get out of harm's way quickly. They're more powerful. And in my opinion, that's going to help keep you safer on the streets. Now, if you're a fool, like I am sometimes, and feel the need to speed on these, which these bikes do tempt you, you know, like dangling a piece of crack in front of a crackhead saying, here, you know, like, on these bikes, it's dangling. It's saying, come on, man. Crank the throttle. Crank the throttle. Yeah. And I just love to hear this baby roar, man, when she's up in the high RPMs, or scream, should I say. But, like I said, that's not the bike's problem. That's your fucking problem, man. That's my problem. You know? And I've been working on it. You know, I try to, but that's, you know, a lot of people say, why do you get a Supersport bike to cruise around on the streets if, you know, doesn't make any sense? You should take it to the track. Yeah, it's awesome at the track, but fucking the tracks is an expensive hobby, man. You know, $150 a pop, plus you gotta buy more rear tires and do more maintenance on your bike. But, like I said, these Supersports are awesome for the street because, like I said, you can maneuver them very well, very light handling. This bike only weighs, especially with this Two Brothers slip-on I have on, this bike only weighs probably about 400 pounds. You know, stock form, it's 410, 412 pounds. So this bike is really light, man. It handles like a 250. You know, even the leader bikes nowadays are very light. I think the Honda CBR 1000RR, I think was like 450, 440, something like that. It's only about 30, 35 pounds heavier than this bike. And so, hey, that's just my take on it. And I don't know, what's your guys' thoughts on that? Supersports being the safest bike out here on the streets. And for those of you guys who say you need a leader bike for the streets because it has that extra torque down low, I don't know what you guys are saying, man, but this 2008 Honda CBR 600RR has got all the power I need, baby. Yeah! Woo! Fuck!
And it's time for CycleCruza's recommended videos.
Dual sports can be fun on the streets and on the trails. Check out this moto vlog where I discuss the pros and cons. So you don't want to get hit on your motorcycle out there on the streets. You might want to check out my defensive riding tips in this moto vlog. Oh, it's too cold for you to ride your motorcycle out on the streets. Man, get your punk ass out there on your bike. I'm going to show you how to kill the cold in this moto vlog. Do you discuss wanting to get a motorcycle with your friends and family only to be told you'll get killed, you'll get hurt on a motorcycle? Well, check out this moto vlog because I'm going to show you how not to listen to that bullshit anymore and just get a motorcycle. Get your CycleCruza sport bike themed apparel at CycleCruza.com.
CycleCruza.com.
Hey, subscribe to my blog over at CycleCruza.com for tips and great deals. Also, click like on my Facebook page for new updates, and that's facebook.com/CycleCruza1.